According to Forbes, last time they published their richest people in the world list, Elon Musk, the owner of Tesla and SpaceX, held the title of the world's richest man with a fortune estimated at around $248 billion. That's a big number to wrap your head around. So, for example, the average distance from Earth to the Moon is over 238,000 miles or 383.000 kilometers. If you laid $248 billion bills end to end, they would stretch more than 1 million miles, or 1.6 million kilometers, which is over 4 times the distance to the Moon. It's like he's a walking economy, a one-man financial powerhouse. But let's take a moment to imagine the sheer magnitude of Elon's wealth. Seriously, it's mind-boggling. He's got so much money that even if he lives forever, which he might with some cryogenic trick where he freezes his body, he wouldn't be able to spend it all in a lifetime. Jeff is currently 52 years old. Let's assume he lives to be 90. To spend all his money, he'd have to spend approximately $17.87 million per day until his last breath. Yep, that's a whole lot of cash. But here's something that might surprise you. Despite being the richest man in modern times, Elon Musk isn't even close to being the richest human being ever to have lived. And get this, the person who holds that record, if you adjust for inflation, had a fortune almost twice the size Elon's. And not just Elon Musk, but also Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Warren Buffett, and Jack Ma combined. It's incredible, right? Now brace yourself because the richest man in history goes by the name of Mansa Musa. Now you might be wondering why you've never heard of this guy. Well, let me introduce you to Mansa Musa, the richest man in history. But before we dive into his story, let's address the elephant in the room. No, I'm not talking about Mansa Musa's entourage on his legendary pilgrimage, although that's quite a sight to behold. I'm referring to the fact that most of us, especially those of us in Europe and the US, haven't been taught much about African history in school. It's a shame because the Mali Empire, which Mansa Musa ruled over, was a force to be reckoned with. I mean, we're talking about an empire that covered almost 500,000 square miles and housed around 5% of the world's population during its golden age. So, how did Mansa Musa amass such immense wealth? Well, it all boiled down to 2 commodities, gold and salt. The Mali Empire had access to abundant gold reserves, and at its peak, it controlled about half of all the gold in the old world. Can you imagine that? Half. Gold was like their thing, their shining treasure. But here's the twist. Salt, yes, salt played a significant role too. In the 14th century, salt was incredibly valuable in many parts of Africa. It was worth its weight in gold because it was essential for survival, made food tastier, and acted as a preservative. So, you see, while gold is shiny and all, salt was the real deal back then. Now let's get to know Mansa Musa a little better. Born around 1280 AD, he ascended to the throne as the ruler of the Mali Empire in 1312 AD. But his path to power took an unexpected turn when his predecessor, Abubakar Keita II, decided to embark on a voyage to explore the other side of the Atlantic Ocean. As you do, right? Well, Abubakar never returned, and Mansa Musa found himself permanently taking the reins of the empire and expanding its borders. Now let's talk about the journey that really put Mansa Musa on the map, his pilgrimage to Mecca, the Hajj. This was no ordinary trip. It was an epic undertaking that involved a caravan of 60,000 people, including men, women, elephants, camels, and a personal guard of 500 well-trained warriors. It was like a movable city, a sight to behold. And guess what? Mansa Musa didn't just pack his bags with a toothbrush and spare underwear. No, he brought along a little extra spending money. By that, I mean 21,000 kilograms of solid gold. Yep, you heard it right. Just a few kilos of gold for those unexpected shopping sprees along the way. Oh, and did I mention he distributed 12,000 slaves, each carrying about 2 kilos of gold? That's a lot of bling. But here's the kicker. Mansa Musa didn't hoard all that wealth for himself. Oh no, he had a different plan in mind. He wanted to share his fortune and beliefs with the world. So, as he journeyed to Mecca, he handed out gold to the poor and built mosques every Friday, wherever he found himself. This incredible act of generosity and devotion left a lasting impact not only on the people he encountered, but also on the world's perception of Africa. Timbuktu, a city he annexed on his return, became a center of trade, culture, religion, and learning, boasting one of the world's most prestigious universities at the time. Trying to put an exact number on Mansa Musa's wealth is a tricky task. Some estimates suggest it could be around $400 billion, accounting for inflation. But let's be honest, the precise figure isn't the point here. What matters is that Mansa Musa possessed a level of wealth that transcended imagination. He used his fortune to make a difference in the lives of others, leaving a legacy that still shines brightly today. So, the next time you hear about Elon Musk and his incredible wealth, remember that he's got nothing on Mansa Musa. And while we may not have learned much about African history in school, Mansa Musa's story is a testament to the greatness that lies within our past, the lessons waiting to be discovered, and the true power of generosity and impact. It's time to appreciate the rich tapestry of history and embrace the stories that have shaped our world.